Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're in the kitchen again tonight, and tonight we are going to be making just a basic biscuit, a baking powder biscuit. These are a lot of fun. They're great with any meal, especially if you forgot to throw the bread dough in. So these are really fast. They cook in about, 12 minutes or so, and you can make the dough in about 5 minutes. So if you're in a rush, baking powder biscuits are the way to go. They're also delicious. So tossing or kneading the biscuit dough lightly helps to distribute our leavening agent. I'll show you that in a minute. So you do want to work with your hands, but first you want to work with either a fork or a pastry cutter. It doesn't matter. My pastry cutter is in the dishwasher, so I'm using a fork. So let's get started here. You want half a cup of butter, margarine, or shortening. It doesn't matter which one you use for the result, but the taste will be a little bit different. So I'm using butter just because I like the buttery, flaky texture. So just kind of smush that up. You don't want the butter too softened. There we go. Add to that 2 cups of all-purpose flour, just regular flour, no big deal. And then just kind of cut that in so you have a crumbly mixture. You want it crumbly, okay? Crumble, crumble. Smush that butter into that flour. Crumbly, crumbly. There we go. Nice and crumbles. We like crumbles. Okay. Now we're going to throw in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. That's our leavening agent. So you're going to mix it in with the fork, but we're going to get in there with our hands in a couple minutes here. Okay. We're also going to add just a half teaspoon of salt. That's just regular salt, just a table salt, but you can use Himalayan or whatever you have. The type of salt is not important in this recipe. There we go. Mush, 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 mush. There we go. See? Look how crumbly that is. Excellent. So that's it for our dry ingredients. The only thing we need now is milk. So we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk. Now, you can use water if you don't have any milk. It'll change the flavor a little bit, but you can do it, and it'll taste delicious anyway. It'll be a little bit different, but not significantly so. So there we go. So it's just basic milk, not buttermilk, nothing like that, just basic milk. Now, once it looks like that, what you want to do, take the dough off like that. There we go. Flatten up my mat. Get in there with your hands, okay? You want to get all of that flour because you do need to be able to roll this dough out. There we go. So get in there, get all that flour incorporated into your dough, okay? So you're looking for the wettest part of the dough to scrape down the sides with. So that's what we want to do. There we go. Okay. You don't want to overwork your dough, but you do want to make sure you have all of this stuff on the sides incorporated. Okay? And have a little bit of extra flour standing by just in case you don't love how sticky your dough is. Sticky is fine. That's why I like having the silicone mat here, because if your dough's a little bit sticky, it'll still work. Okay. There we go. That's about good. All right. Get rid of your bowl. You don't need it. Okay? Flatten out our mat. So at this point, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees. That sounds high, I know, but it's important. It needs to cook that high. I'm just going to grab my rolling pin. It's in this drawer. Oh, here we go. Okay, so before you start rolling this out, a little bit of excess flour on the bottom. Flip that over because you don't want it sticking to your rolling pin. Okay? So you're going to roll it out till it's about 3/8 of an inch thick. That's why I like having this. This actually measures. So 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch, somewhere in there. So this actually measures that out for me so I don't have to keep track. There we go. There. Looking good. Get rid of that fork. I don't need it. There we go. So that dough looks pretty good. Okay? There we go. Okay, so now what you want is you need a cookie cutter. a round one, preferably, but you can really use any shape. It doesn't matter. This is about a 3-incher, 3.5. You can use a 2-incher, you can use 1-incher, you can use 4-incher. It doesn't matter. Whatever size you like. Just remember, if you're making bigger ones, you'll get fewer biscuits. So I'm just going to take my cutter. Just cut as many as you can. I'm not going to get a ton because I'm using a fairly large cookie cutter. So I only got 5 out of that. Now I have to re-roll this. Get that out of there. Okay, so now you want to grab a cookie sheet. Here's mine. This has been present in many a video. So here we go. You just want to take your biscuits and place them, thank you, the oven has heat up. Place them nicely on your cookie sheet. Now you can roll out this excess dough and make a few more. And you just keep doing that till you don't have any dough left. You'll have a little scrap of dough at the end that you make into this little tiny thing. So you can leave your biscuits separated like that, or you can move them up so that they touch, and that'll actually give you a really nice biscuit edge. Okay? And it also allows you to fit more on your pan. These rise up, not out. Okay? There we go. We'll just make a few more here. And you're going to bake these for about 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes, maximum 15 minutes. Mine are done in 12 minutes, but 15 might work for you depending on your oven, but no more than 15 minutes. They will start to burn. Remember, they are cooking at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really high. That's higher than what we cook sourdough at. So it'll cook quickly, and if you are not on top of it, it will burn. So just take this last one here. Probably only going to get one more out of this. And then I'm going to end up with a scrap. Yeah, only going to get one more. There we go. So obviously if you're using a smaller cookie cutter, you will get more biscuits. So your last little bit, okay, just roll it between your hands like this to help get rid of any seams. And then just pop it there. It's nothing. That's, for the dog. It's fine. So now we're going to pop that in the oven. You're going to bake them for 12 minutes average. They might be done at 8 minutes. They might need 15 minutes. It really depends on your oven. So check them at 8 minutes. Be prepared for them to take 12. We'll come back when they have been baked. And there we go. For me, these actually only took 8 minutes to cook. They're all done. Look at how golden brown they're looking on the top. That's what you want. You want to let them cool for 2 minutes before you take them off the pan, and that'll just let them set a little bit, give them some structure. But do serve them warm. They are delicious when served warm, and they should flake apart really, really easily. Okay, so you can split them carefully. You can probably do it with your fingers, but you can also do it with a small knife. Look at that. Look at those layers. They bake quickly, easily, and they're delicious on the dinner table. You can top these biscuits with butter, jam, clotted cream, or you can just eat them straight out of the oven. I hope you enjoyed making basic biscuits with us here tonight. We will see you tomorrow.